Hi, I'm Jason Blake, president of PEI, and welcome to this episode of PEI Newswatch. I'm here with Chris Fassey. He is currently the vice president of our board of directors, and he is also on the 10 group, the PHA 10 group. Chris, welcome to our discussion.
Thank you for having me.
We've known each other for like 3 years now, and in the beginning, you said, "Hey, Jason, my 10 group's not doing that great. We're not really meeting that much. I don't know much about them. We've been around since 2014. Tell me a little bit about the struggles that you had in the beginning."
So, tried to get into a 10 group for years, waiting for an opportunity to open up. And finally, about 2014, there was enough people to start a group, and we were excited. We got together, but there was no guidance on what we were supposed to do. So for the next 6-7 years, we met once a year, looked at each other, talked about, small struggles we had with employees or vehicles or inventory, and really wasn't getting out of it what I thought was and what I heard from other people about how their businesses had success.
Yep.
So that was my kind of direction to you of what, give us some direction to make it more.
And you've been a great member, and you've leaned on us a lot for different services. And I remember saying to you, I said, "Give me a little time, but I think I got something that could really help you and some of the other members are out there looking to take it to that next level." And that's when we introduced you to the, what we call the gold group. And we've got your moderator, and you guys kind of dove into it, and then you guys started setting some things up. And how's that been working?
Oh, it's been great. We had our first get together outside of the convention last year, and our moderators helped put our numbers together, follow the profitability study, and see where they are, where we're at, and then we all worked on some goals to improve those numbers. We just met for the second time this year in Tulsa outside of the convention, and night and day difference in our numbers.
You guys are getting to know each other better, and you're trusting each other, right?
And talking to each other about what are you doing to achieve that level. There were some people that metrics weren't all there. A year later, that they're above average, working to that best in class. And and we had some great discussions this year about different opportunities that some other members in our group had. And we're gonna spend the next year getting together here and there to work on those for them.
Yeah. You talked about those metrics. That's really the PEI profitability report you're referring to, right?
Yeah.
And so you guys, is that kind of like the Bible for you guys at all?
It is.
We've
got a little spreadsheet that our moderator put together that we can plug in our percentages. So we don't, share our numbers with each other.
Right.
But we're all looking at those percentages of how we compare to each other, how we compare to the PEI members, and and then talk about those areas where we want to improve those numbers.
Yep. So one of the things about the PEI 10 groups is they're very, very close knit, and we've worked to talk about the benefits of going to the gold. What advice would you give to a group who might be thinking of making that jump to go into the gold group?
It's a financial obligation that some people might look at, but in the big scheme of things, it's not that much money for getting basically a consultant to help you with your business. And then you've got a whole group that's now like your own board of directors to bounce ideas off of, to get advice from, to give advice to, and all along there's someone there giving guidance, from a higher level than what we all have together.
Right. No, I'd agree. I thank you for, spending some time to kind of go through a little deeper of what this 10 group is all about. I know you guys have been really successful. Your group's doing really well. And you guys are, moving forward with many successes. So thank you for your time. And thanks for being a great PEI member. I'm Jason Blake. Thank you for watching this episode of PEI Newswatch.